Alright, morning, and where is it? 1100, right there. It's not the biggest or the best marker, but it's a marker that I didn't have to make, which is nice. And let's face it, 1100 miles isn't the most significant of milestones. It is cool to make it though. It's always nice to make and see those milestones every 100 miles and see them slowly ticking up. But there are a few milestones coming up that I am looking forward to. The next one being 1200 miles, which I've since figured out is not exactly 2,000 kilometers. In fact, I'll probably almost already be at 2,000 kilometers and definitely be there before the 1200 mile mark, because my conversion rate I use in my head isn't quite exact, but it's good enough. For the sake of round numbers, I'm happy to say that 1200 miles is equal to 2,000 kilometers. So that's the next one. I'll be excited to hit 2,000 kilometers. Shortly after that, I guess around 1325, so that'll be the halfway point. The PCT midway point should be 1325, or give or take a few miles. Something else to look forward to there. Oh, I have running water here. Bear with me while I see what I'm dealing with. Oh, a bit of a rock up. Basically just trying to keep my shoes dry at the moment. Don't get a lot of running water these days, not at the moment. And speaking of water, I'm carrying a lot of it right now because unfortunately I didn't have the best day yesterday. Between heading back out on trail and finding the trail to be a rocky nightmare like what I'm on at the moment, just loose rocks that are constantly rolling and moving under your feet, meant my barely recovered or improving foot was pushed past its limit, so it's kind of sore. And then, despite the fact I was walking past lakes all day or all afternoon, they weren't easy to get to, so I ended up with quite a long dry stretch. And then when I finally got to accessible water, in my haste to get it in my body, I dropped my SteriPen and it broke. So it no longer functions. It just keeps, it has like a little screen on it which gives you a smiley face for when the water's good to go and a frowny face for if something's going wrong. It's doing nothing but frowning at me. So I am unable to treat my water that way. Fortunately, I do carry a backup sheet of Catadin water treatment tablets. So I've got about 21 of those left. That's 21 litres of water. And I can always boil water as well. So I do have a stove, although I don't really have a ton of gas to spare at the moment for boiling endless amounts of water. However, I can always, or I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have campfires at the moment, but hey, if it's down to that stage, I'm having a campfire to boil water if I need it. But the most obvious solution is just to borrow other people's filters if and when I can, and there are quite a few people out in this section at the moment, so I was fortunate last night and this morning to be able to filter a couple of litres of water using other people's filters. So I'm now carrying more water than I would otherwise, just because it's water I can drink, and hopefully I'll be able to keep that up for a few days. Sorry, I'll touch on a creek here. Yeah, the 21 tablets is more than likely enough to get me to Truckee. Truckee's 55 miles, so roughly 2 and a bit days. So yeah, I'd probably drink 7 to 8 litres of water most days, I think. So it's on the, it'd get me there. I'd be alright. And if I can filter a few litres of water from other people on the way, then even better. So that wasn't awesome. And then, as I went to bed last night and lay down to read, got a new book, bought a new book. Why are Kindle books so freaking expensive? It's ridiculous. Like, they're more expensive than buying a print book normally, or what a print book used to be. I feel like all book prices have been jacked up. Anyway, I bought a book. And apparently I bought a book in German. Once I went to read it, it was all in German. So I'm a little displeased about that. It means I've got nothing to read for this stretch till I get to town, and I don't know if I can somehow swap that around with Amazon or something. I don't know. When I get to town, I'll try and figure out there's an English version. I'm sure there's an English version of the book. I mean, it's written by an American author, so yeah. Yesterday was not a win, but today so far has been a win, because as I was pulling my tent down, looking at one of my very mangled tent stakes, thinking, really need to replace this one. And 3 inches away from it, there was a tent stake that someone had left behind in the ground. So the trail provides. I needed a tent stake, and there was one right there. Just pulled it out the ground, and now it's mine. So hopefully the trail will continue to provide in the way of water filtration and water treatment for me for the next couple of days till I can buy a new filter. That's pretty much it. I don't know what day number it is. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Left South Lake Tahoe yesterday, just past mile 1100, and hopefully it will be smooth sailing to Truckee in a couple of days. And I'll leave it there. Oh, up on top of Dick's Pass. You can only assume by the name the trip down is going to suck. There is a bit of snow around still, as you can see, just a little bit, but it's always the northern side of these mountains that still has the majority of the snow sitting there. So hopefully getting down isn't too painful. As I said, with a name like Dick's Pass, and it being pretty much one of the last passes, I mean, it's only 9,400 feet, so given Forester was 13,200, and most of the other big ones were 11 to 12,000, 9,400 is not bad. But there's still some snow. As you can see, these big snow drifts and things around. Hopefully, where it is across the trail, it's fairly easy to traverse across and there's no real exposure. But yeah, Dick's Pass. Alrighty, just starting to come up on Richardson Lake now, which marks about 20 miles for the day so far. It's 4:30. It's been a pretty cruisy day, really. Terrain's been a bit rough, trail's been a bit rough, but it's been a slow and steady kind of day. Ankle's hurting, or foot rather. More of a foot than an ankle, but it's in the vicinity. The trail has provided, though. Any voices? Probably in my head. The trail has provided so far. I've been able to get my water filtered by borrowing filters all day off some very nice hikers, so that's worked well. I haven't had to use any of the water treatment tablets, so that's all but guaranteed. I've got enough. Even if I can't filter any more water with the tablets, I should have enough to get into wherever the hell I'm going, Truckee, day after tomorrow. So yeah, that's a win. Obviously there were more backup methods to go. I could have boiled my stove, and if I ran out of stove fuel I could have boiled with fire, but ideally borrowing a filter is while I prefer to be independent and not rely on others, it's still definitely the easiest option to do if there's others around. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep going on it today. I may just pull up in camp. There's not really any hurry. Whether I do a few extra miles today or not, either way I'm going to end up with somewhere less than 15 miles in the truckie the day after tomorrow, where I can hopefully resupply, grab lunch, and get a new filter obviously, and then head back out onto trail, hopefully without spending a fortune on accommodation and taking more time off. But we'll see. Just play it by ear and see what happens. Certainly different terrain in this area. It's been very foresty all day. It's not so much now, but it's been pretty thickly wooded, and yeah, just one foot in front of the other, all the way to Canada.